Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here with another edition of Moz in the Scratic. That is my scrap busting ephemera making challenge, hosted by me, Priscilla, here at Release the Craftin, where we are making stuff out of our scraps. That's what we're doing all month, and today is the day of the 16th. And so the prompt today is Swatch. And what are we doing? We're making color swatches. That's what we're doing. That's a very simplified thing of what it's going to be way more complicated. Hold on, guys. So what I have here is a piece of photo paper. It's got schmutz on it. It's because it's a scrap of photo paper. It's glossy photo paper. Do you need glossy photo paper to do this? No. Why do I have glossy photo paper here? Because I didn't have a scrap of watercolor paper, and I didn't want to cut my block of watercolor paper down because it's like a big, it's like 18 by 14. It's a giant piece of paper. So I didn't want to cut a big piece of paper down to get a little piece of paper just for this one project. So in my scrap box, I had some glossy photo paper from an alcohol ink thing left over. So I cut the part that wasn't bad off. Well, I cut that off first, and then I cut this out. But there's schmutz on this paper, which is why it's in the scrap box. That's a whole explanation of justification for why I have a slightly dirty piece of paper. Which isn't even relevant to what we're doing. Because what are we doing? Well, let me do this without spilling. Because I had these pre-primed and ready to go. These are my watercolors. This is my disgusting watercolor palette. It is what it is. And we're going to come this way so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Because we're doing an art thing with Priscilla. That's what we're doing. Tiff at Amethyst Raven joked and said it should be a series, and now I'm kind of thinking it might be what I rebrand Grunge School as, because I don't have a lot of ideas for grunge. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? So, all that being said, I've been struggling to think of things that I could do for Grunge School to continue that series, but I can think of more things that are art related and could also lead into grunge. So we might just be calling it Art Things with Priscilla. Even though I think it is goofy, I am not above being goofy. So what we're going to do on today's Art Thing with Priscilla is we're going to make what's called a unified or a harmonious palette, which is basically where you pick a color. That's going to be your primary color. And then you mix that color into all the other colors in your palette, so that there's like a harmonious, unified feel. So it feels like they all came from sort of the same source because their base color is essentially the same. And so what I want to do is basically do like a Roy G. Biv thing, and pick a color and not use that much water. That was so much water. I need more paper towels is what I've concluded here. And I'll probably need more water if I keep acting like that. Oh my gosh. But what I'm going to do is like pick up some pigment and move over more so that you guys can see more, because I apparently don't understand how squares work. And very gently dole out some water. That's a very yellow orange. Here, I actually don't have to follow the squares. I don't know why I'm acting like I have to. I know why, because I'm special. But essentially, what I want to do is get 8 colors out here, and then the 9th color that I choose will be the color that I choose to unify the palette. So that's what we're doing. This is a nice green. This is a nice dark green. I don't use this one very often. Oh, because it's just straight up green. I like an olive green, a mossy green, a phthalo green. Those are my favorite greens. Nico was climbing into my boxes because I started recording. I pet her first, and then I was like, okay, I am done. Time to record. And she apparently takes that personally every time I do it. I don't blame her. I would too if I was her. Even though she was done. She was done with being pet, because she's not a clingy type of cat. She's just like a don't touch me, but also don't do anything else. That doesn't include me. So, do I want 2 blues? Not really. Especially not ones that are that close. I was looking for like an indigo replacement. Which I guess that would be fairly close. Purple. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so one more after this. What should it be? Yes, that was a good choice. Okay, so these are our base colors, and then we're going to pick our unifying color, which I think is going to be this funkety brown color, this yellow brown. Do I have space? So we're going to need a good bit of that because we're mixing it in. Look how crusty it is. What's going on in this palette? This is a very cheap, very old palette, so it may be time to re-up. Or it just might be a crusty, yucky color. Who knows? It's not cute. Not like this. It'd be much cuter in the woods. But I want to make sure that we get a fair amount of this because we're going to be mixing it into everything else. So essentially, that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix it into everything else. And try not to cross-contaminate it, Priscilla. That may not be enough. It's because I used like a bajillion gallons of water on the red. Drop in there. So, we're going to get this mixed in. Come off like regular. Okay. To each of these guys. And it's going to change these colors. So they're not going to be as pretty and vibrant like this. Which is kind of the desired goal. Okay, and then the rest of you can just come in here. Or you go there. That also works. Since I used a bajillion gallons of water. This red one might be a wild card. We'll find out. And so for some of the colors, you're going to see it like changes the color completely because that's how color mixing works. Other colors, you're going to see it's the same color, but the tones are going to be different. But at the end of it all, we're going to end up with a very unified, very harmonious looking palette where everything looks like it sort of came, like I said, from the same source. Like it was intentionally that color to begin with. Which is a great way to like alter the moods and the vibes of like your paintings and stuff. You know, if you're going for something like more muted or vintage looking, mixing a brown into all of your colors, as we have done here, would be the way to go. So that you can get that aesthetic. If you're looking for something more vibrant, mixing in a vibrant color would give you that effect. And it's a very easy way to sort of build a palette for what you're working on. Hello, baby. What are you doing? It's so interesting that you have to hype yourself up to get into your own bed. So yes, this is gonna be so good. And we're going to find out if I have mixed enough of the color into this. It feels like I haven't. It feels like these are still very bright. So I might have to come back in with some more color and mix. But this is a good way to like make up like your recipe. So if you're like, you know, you can do this with like your distressings too. You can make a very harmonious palette of distressings. So, like, most of the distressings look like they go together and sort of live in the same world. But sometimes, you know, like, you want to just get a different tone, or you're like, I would really like to use, like, Kitsch Flamingo, but it's a little bit too bright for what I got going on. But then, like, Worn Lipstick is too muted. It's not exactly what I'm going for. Well, if you're already using Vintage Photo for everything, you could mix a little Vintage Photo in. And, you know, get what you're looking for. And then it would look like it belongs, and it wouldn't be out of place. Okay, so this is fairly tedious with one single brush, but we're gonna make it work. Stop mixing in paint on flat surface full of water. Stop acting like a liquid. How dare you? Gonna try to avoid major cross-contamination here. And because I do want these to be a little bit more muted so they go along with everything, I did add more of the brown. But also I'm looking at, like, how much of a difference in tone I'm getting here too, to determine if I have the right sort of blend, because my water here is inconsistent. I probably could use like a dropper and been a lot more scientific about my approach here. I wasn't. That's also okay. I'm also aware that I am working with a watercolor. So it will dry down as I am going through, mixing through everything, but that's also okay because you can just add more water and reactivate it. It will not be the end of days. I think I'm liking how these are looking. What do you guys think? It still looks really bright on camera. They look a lot more subtle and muted and like where I'm at. And maybe we'll find out how much the difference is. It looks so much brighter on camera. Which I guess is a testament to my camera and lighting. But that's kind of funny. Okay. So, oh, I have it on my thumb and I just put more smudge on it. That's fine. It's fine. So essentially, oh, my boot. We're gonna swatch it out, and I want to swatch it like in a color wheel, but also because I have 9 colors I'm working with, I want to make sure that I am mindful of that. So I'm gonna start out by making this my primary yellow color in my primaries. Nico, cat hair. And I'm going to try to cover up this first smudge by smudging it out. I don't know how it's going to act because this is an experiment of watercolor on glossy photo paper. So that's one primary. That'll be my yellow. The other one will be this red that I'm not certain is deep enough because of the amount of water. So that'll go in the next third. I'm not going to be super precious about it. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's nice. It's not quite a third. And then we're going to pick this to be the primary blue color. I'm trying to cover up my other little fingerprint smudge. But ooh, this is interesting. I've done like alcohol inks on this type of paper, but I have not done watercolor on here, and I am glad that I am trying it. This water brush, I remember now why I don't use this one, because it sucks up the color. I don't know if you guys can see. My water has gone brown. Focus on my hand. There we go. The water's gone brown. That's what this brush does. That's why I don't use this one, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. So, in between here and here, we're going to have our secondaries. And it doesn't really matter, does it, Priscilla? Just paint your colors. So, yeah, that's the orange color. And you're going to kind of see, as we, like, swatch these out, that the vibe is very similar through the colors. That they look like they go together. Like, we mix this palette fresh at the place that you go to make paint palettes, I guess. Is this clear? Not yet. There we go. And then here's that yellow. I think I chose an orange and a yellow that were very, very close in color. And our yellow has been absolutely, like, swamped by, that brown, but it's fine. It's a yellowy brown. I figured it was going to happen. I also put these very close together. I'm going to get a little more color in there. There's a big old gap. Ooh, my fingers. Okay. And then from red to blue. This is what we got going on. Oh yeah, this is a totally different color now. Look at that. It's really pretty. This is also a good way to like figure out how your colors look. So instead of making like a giant swatch chart, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those, where they use every color in the palette and then every color in the palette on the other side, like on the axis, you know, like every color this way, every color that way. So when you get to the diagonal, like on the big giant graph, every color is the same, you know, it's the color from the palette, but then you get to see how all the colors mix with each other as you go along, which is very helpful and useful. It's also very, very time consuming. It takes a very long time to do that. So if you wanted to do sort of a quick version and get like an idea of how your colors were going to mix, this would be a way in which you could do that. And, you know, see what you're working with and see, like, you know, what happens when I mix my colors with this color. You could do that all in one go and do that for your whole palette if you just wanted to sort of concentrate it and make your own swatch card for it. That would also be a fun thing to do, a fun exercise. Okay, so we're here. I made this my primary blue, so this will be my secondary blue. Right, that's what I did? Oh my god, I don't remember. YOLO. Oh, thank god. Oh, this could have been disastrous. I could have messed up my whole thing. But, oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. So there's our, like, stormy sky blue that we made out of that dark blue. And then the last is this green, which is very green. I don't think that brown made, like, much of an impact. This green was powerful. And okay, our division wasn't too bad. I had to get a little bit larger on this side because I was so swooshed on that side. But still, not too bad. I don't hate it. I do want to come back and extend some of these because I wasn't really certain how much space I was going to have or need. So I do want to come drop in some more color, which I do think will have an effect on the photo paper, although it does look like it's picking up color still. Because I know, like, when colors dry into photo paper, they dry into the photo paper. Like, they go in. And then they become very permanent. So you can do that with, like, alcohol inks and, like, your oxides on photo paper. It'll become, like, permanent. It'll sink into it. So I don't know if watercolor does the same thing, if it just needs to completely dry in order to do so, which might be the case. Hoping to pick up some more of this orange and re-orange this a bit, because these are like the same color almost. I chose a very yellow orange, which is not a big deal. And just extending it. That's all we're doing. Mostly to take up some more of that real estate there, so it's not so super white. I'm not super worried about it though, like at the end of the day, because it will it's going into something that'll sort of mute the stark whiteness, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There's no more water in this paintbrush. That's the problem that I'm having now. So, quick fill from the spray bottle because I don't want to go to the sink. But essentially, yeah, this has been an art thing with Priscilla. This is how you make a unified palette. Eep. Everything's taken apart. Hold on. try this again. And we have water. It's really hard to watercolor without a water. There we go, that's better. I guess if you wanted this to be like more neat, you could use like some tape or whatever, but why? So what I will say is having now seeing this green like dry down a bit, it's not nearly as vibrant as it was before, so that's also a good thing too, to see like what the effect has. So even though it didn't like super mix or do anything like that, I don't know why I decided they needed to be like orange segments, but that is what I've just decided, so that is what I'm going back and changing. Whatchamacallit, but it is good to see like the effect that like mixing this color has on the rest of this palette, especially on this green color that I thought wasn't going to mix down at all. It's nice to see what it does, what it do. Be do. Oh, I miss Scooby-Doo. I've not seen Scooby-Doo in a while. Maybe I'll watch a Scooby-Doo movie. I'm trying to think. This is like a weekday after work, so I'm going to film this in parts because I wanted to get this part done so I could have it ready for the next part. This is a really pretty purple color, too. I don't even like purple that much, but gotta say, I do appreciate this color. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Otherwise, I'm going to be here all day trying to make this something. I do want this to be slightly more pointed since everything else is pointy now, because I decided we needed them to look like orange slices. Although, like, imagine you bit into an orange and it looked like this. I'd be like, I have been transported to a galaxy far, far away, and I do not belong here. But maybe I do belong here, because the fruit is rainbow colored. Okay, here we go. The things. So, what I'm going to do is let this dry. There's our unified palette. Now all those bright, vivid colors are, they're toned. They're on this scale. That's really neat. I really like how this looks. I'm excited to see what we do next. I don't know. I mean, I know kind of a little bit what I'm going to do next, but I don't know. But this has been Art Things with Priscilla at the top of this video, so stay tuned. Come on back now, y'all, and see what we do for the rest of the project. Bye. Okay, so we're back. We're dry. Everything is nice and beautiful looking. This is what we got. It's been a couple days, again, because this is how I do things. I decided to build a new desk, so welcome to the new desk. I got a standing desk, so we're going to see how this goes, because I'm tired of sitting all day. And we're just going to roll into it. So, this aside, I have this, which is now a scrap of a scrap, because that's what I punched this out of. It's also dingy-ringy. But we're going to make it less so, because I don't want to waste this circle. So we're gonna use this. Because I don't know if I said it yet. It's in the title, probably. But we're altering a CD envelope. So, what I did notice was that, you know, I can get this nice and centered. And we'll have a little frame here, and then we'll do something cool here. And there. And da-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. That's how we'll do it. Nope, wrong piece. Here we go. So, I'm gonna get my alcohol inks out, because this is photo paper. I'm also coming from like a whole different lighting situation, so maybe my lighting will be better. Because I'm on the other side of my desk, where it was previously. It still is. Actually, I just extended the space now, so I have lots of space to craft on. Ugh, come out of the box. Let's see. Where's my alcohol ink one? That's a pretty dark color that I was not anticipating. I don't know why. I just didn't read it that way. But that's a really pretty color. Okay. And then we'll get another color in there. This one's mulberry. And this is going to be you. You make me feel. I don't know if it's going to be a noticeable difference, but nope. So much for that idea. It's fine. It's a pretty color on its own. And apparently they're closer in tone than I thought. It works. So, my only slight concern is that I won't have enough to cover the thing. I think I will. See, envelopes aren't very meaty anyways. So at any rate, my old desk is on the other side of this desk. There used to be a solid hardwood desk on this side that had my computer and stuff on it, but my computer has been dead for quite some time. Yes. Whatchamacallit, so, you know, the desk has just been sort of like a catch-all for things, and I decided on mostly impulse to buy this standing desk. One, because I sit at my job and then I come home and then I want to craft and I sit there too, and it's just kind of killer on my back and like my legs. So I was like, okay, we got to do something, and like adding in a dance break in between like videos is fun, but it's not having the same like effect as like being able to just not have to sit for hours would have. So yeah, so I got the desk. I, on a whim, got into this really deep conversation with Belle at Bella Blue Creations, and so we were chatting all day, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put my desk together right now. Just trying to kill back some of that bright white without like taking away from our colors. And I think that works. It's not so shiny white. And then inadvertently, I must have run this over some foil at some point, some of that gilding, because it's like a little sparkly. I don't know if that's going to show up. The camera is now taller than I am, so I can't actually see what you guys can see. I'm on my tippy toes, trying to see what you guys are looking at. So fingers crossed that came through. But it's a little sparkly, and not mad about that either. So what I want to do is get this out of here. Without tearing the paper, preferably. Because I'm going to replace it with acetate. That's a little bit more solid, a little more meaty than this plastic. So yeah, so I was talking to Belle, and then I was like, okay, well, like, I can't record and carry this great conversation at the same time, and trust me, it was a great conversation, guys. You just had to be there, but we were having a really good convo. But, so I was like, I'll just build this desk instead, which is just so ADHD coded, I can't even begin to explain it to you guys. How, instead of doing the thing I needed to do, which was make these videos, I was like, what if I, in my infinite wisdom, come on, build a desk. And to my credit, I am bragging now. The sounds you're hearing in the background are my neighbor because my window is open. I built the desk with no problems. I am very good at putting furniture together and following those photo instructions with no words. It took about 2 hours. But 2.5 hours actually, to put the desk together. Granted, I kept stopping to have conversation. So that probably added to the time a bit. But, whatchamacallit, so I put the desk together, and then I was like, now you have this giant desk in the middle of your living room. You cannot just push it off to the side and, like, go back to making videos like nothing happened. So then, that became a, well, you can't just start moving furniture around at 7 o'clock at night, so that'll have to wait till the next day. So here we are on Sunday. I have to make 2 videos in order to have the week done, so that I don't have to stress about putting out videos for the rest of the week until the following weekend. And I haven't done anything, and now I'm rearranging furniture and clearing off an old desk and moving all the furniture by myself, because I live alone. Okay, questions. Are we making it a pocket? Yes, we're making it a pocket. Of course we're making it a pocket. Why would we make it a pocket, Priscilla? Well, in that case, I should have maybe anticipated this better and done the whole piece so that we would have a flap. Unless I do not want to do that for the flap. I want to do something different. I'm gonna back it too. I guess I could match the backing. That's also an option. Yeah, okay. So, what are we gonna do for the inside? Great question. Maybe some gold? Yeah, let's do gold. Everything is in new spots now, so don't mind me while I figure out where all my stuff is. So, whatchamadoodle, yeah, so I moved everything. Don't worry, I used cardboard to slide stuff around, because I am a strong, independent woman who does not need any help when she puts her mind to something. Even though, like I said, my back has been hurting, so that's why the whole reason I got this desk. So you think I would have been like, I need help moving this furniture, and the answer is no. I moved it myself using cardboard. And honestly, I thought it was going to be really difficult, like more difficult than it was, because I am incapacitated in the wrist. But surprisingly, it was not that bad moving everything. What was bad was finding everything that had fallen between my old desk and the wood desk. Everything had fallen in the crack between the two. And I was like, oh my gosh. So there I was like picking up little beads, all the beads that rolled off my desk, and all sorts of little tiny bits that had been lost to time. Oh, I don't know what they're doing down there, but it smells. Ugh. I'm gonna close the window, hold on. Okay, that was so weird. It was like burning Fabuloso. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Like, I can't think of a better way to put it. But it smelled like burning Fabuloso, and it was so unpleasant. For those of you guys outside of the States, Fabuloso is a floor cleaner. I don't know if they have it everywhere in the world. But yeah, it smelled like burning soapy mop water is what it smelled like. And I don't know how they managed to achieve that, how they pulled that off, but it was unpleasant. And I usually like the smell of Fabuloso, but not when it's on fire. So I don't know. Whatever they're doing is, I hope it's cleaning and getting stuff super clean, because the cost of that scent is not worth it if it's not going to come out pristine and clean. So yeah, so after I got all the little bits and pieces off the floor, vacuumed of course, and got everything all squared away, and then managed to put this desk in place, also using the cardboard method. And oh, I have a hook for my heat tool now. I don't have to chase it down. This is so nice. So brace your ears, because we're gonna heat this up. Beautiful. So, I just want you to know that's entirely for Tiff. I could have cut away and come back when it was embossed, but she said she likes to watch it come to life. So, for you, Tiff. Okay. So I'm not covering that part. What's the smartest way to do this? Good question. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Look at that. Okay. That's got some razzle dazzle to it. Glue. Yeah. So, yeah, so I got the desk in place, and then I dragged all the stuff from the other desk to this desk, and had surprisingly enough room to add the stuff that was on my shelf, which was like all my inks and embossing powders and stuff. So now I don't have to walk like away to get those things because I use them the most. I probably need like a better solution to like condense it, like a tall shelf thing maybe, because they're all in baskets. And I just feel like the space isn't being utilized. More so because I wanted to put all my little anime figures up here, but I couldn't fit them up here. So, no desk buddies for me, I guess. Although I do have one desk buddy. I'll show you guys in a second, because this glue's going to dry before I can show it to you. I was just real liberal with that glue, wasn't I? It's fine. It'll wipe off. Okay. So stick this down, and then I'll show you my desk buddy. This has been my desk buddy since I was a child. Like, every time I set up a new creative space, or a new whatever space, this is my little desk buddy. I used to have the whole set of these. They were like one of those Bradbury things. It's dusty as heck. Don't pay too much attention to that. But his name is Gloomy. And he's like the sad little dragon. I used to have the whole set of like emotion dragons. That's what they were. They were like mood dragons. But then my mom made me get rid of them when we moved because I had too many things. And I have resented that decision for quite some time. But I insisted on all the dragons in the set. I was like, I will not be leaving without Gloomy. Gloomy is coming with us. And so she would, she reluctantly agreed that Gloomy would in fact be coming with us. So yeah, he's been with me forever. So yeah, I made space for him for sure because we're not leaving Gloomy behind. Ever, not ever, one day. And so yeah, he did manage to find space on my desk. But all my little anime figures and stuff I wanted to bring did not make the cut. So yeah, I gotta find another spot for them. Because they fit on the old desk, but the old desk, like I said, was just a computer desk. So, I gotta figure out what to do with that, too. Because I kind of don't want to get rid of it. It's a nice desk. And I don't know what I'm going to do with another desk. Maybe I'll turn it into, like, altar space? Or something? Let's see. It's so weird being this high up. And yet, it's so comfortable. Because I usually have to bend forward to craft. Like I'm hunched over like a goblin. Or a hunchback of Notre Dame. Like one of the goblins on the cathedral, just hunched over all the way. That's usually how I sit when I'm crafting. Partly because the desk is low. Or my old desk was low. Could you glue, please? I know it's on top of embossing powder, but I just need you to sort of get with it. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so, like, I usually would be, like, hunched over, crouched on top of my stuff, so having it, like, right up here at, like, chest level is crazy, but also so comfy. It's so nice to not be, like, huddled over crafting. But also, I am, what we in the business would say, chesty. So, it was like twice the amount of weight as necessary, hunched over. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to not have the full effect of gravity on my body right now. Dragging the girls down and myself. So I will say, it was worth all the effort it took to get here, even if it was just like one of those random spontaneous ADHD meets your OCD projects, where I had to complete it once I started, because like I couldn't leave it unfinished. I'll save this and add more ink to it later. And then we'll have an alcohol ink scrap. Okay. So I got a little glue in some places. It's not super serious. In fact, I might be making it worse. Oh my god, look at that! What a jerk. Okay, it's fine. I'll fix it. Oh my gosh, I went to go get this nice clean piece of acetate, and then as I came around the corner, it like hit my shirt, and all the little like fuzzies came away with it, and I was just like, no! So I've been here like wiping it off in the meantime. I will say the weather is still changing in Texas, so I am wheezy as heck, and I acknowledge that. There is a substantial amount of wheeze happening in this video. So you'll have to bear with me because I am bearing with it. Okay. So I'm giving myself a little bit shy of it so I have the right measurement when I stick it inside without having to fight the sides to get stuff in there. And we'll get those to the side. And then before I stick it in there, what I think I want to do is get more alcohol ink on it. In fact, specifically this mushroom, because it is my favorite of all the alcohol inks. It's just grungy speckled goodness. It's like a brown, but has like blue and green undertones. So when it like spreads out and dries and does cool things, it does cool things. But now we must make it dry. So I don't know if you guys can see, that's the color. It is like normally like a nice fungus underneath a portobello cap brown, but sometimes it does crazy color things, which it's not doing here. It's doing very straightforward things here, but that's also okay. Oh, if this wasn't acetate, if this was like a thicker piece of something, like a heavier duty plastic, I would totally dump some embossing enamel on it, so it would pick up like on those edges. I could do it with embossing powder. Do it with our vintage one. Let's see if anything sticks. Let's just see. Let's just get crazy and see. It has been a minute since I've been talking, so who knows? You see how it's like greeny blue or greeny brown? Let's see if anything sticks. Oh, everything stuck. More than I anticipated. Fuck it. Okay, now fuck it. What are you doing? It's got to go in. Okay. This is a little bit more than I wanted it to be. Can't come off. Well, that didn't help, did it? But I guess we'll just grunge it up. Worst case scenario, I have to cut a new piece of acetate and try again. This is not going back in the mix. It's all full of the alcohol ink. So let's see what we did. Sorry, I went the other way too, just because it looked like it was too liney. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's see. So you can still see the color underneath, and we got like nice places where it like pulled up for texture. I like it a lot. Now the better question. How do we glue it inside? Priscilla, wish you had thought of that before we did all this. I also suppose that we need something inside better than white paper. Okay, were you not there when I cut this so that I could just slide it right in? Were you not? Okay. And this is so overly complicated for something that should be very simple and straightforward. Okay. Well, that's a start. Fixing that, gluing this in, and then backing this on the inside and the outside. Thoughts, feelings, ideas. First idea. We're gonna glue it like this. I'm not even gonna fuss about it. I was gonna cut it apart and then glue it all back together, but I don't want to. Did glue even come out? No, just the imagination of glue. There we go. Okay, and then to make sure that nothing gets caught, I am gonna stab some glue into the corners before this all seals down. And then the same thing, but on this side. Just gonna run a line through here. And then, let's see. Oh, I like this. It's like a portal. Stick. Okay. I like that. I'll take it away. Now we have to do the inside. And what do I have for the inside? I have scraps. Oh boy, do I have scraps. Perfect. Everything is in a new spot. Okay. Spider check. Here we go. So what else was I talking about before Burning Fabuloso stole the entirety of my attention span? I don't know. That's too... So that thought train is gone. Unfortunately. I do have to get a paper towel holder for this desk and then a new trash can because my old trash can will not work. For what we have going on. Okay. So you can kind of see the stamp. But it's okay, it's not the focus of the piece, it's just interesting background material. So to make sure it doesn't go anywhere or impede our pocket, we're going to add some glue to the edge and then just a little bit through there. And I'm trying to think of how I want this to be. Do I want it to be its own like little standalone pocket dude? Or do I want it to be like a page flappy thing? At which point I should probably cut a notch in this. I should back it too. Well, that's a start. Do I like the wall? I like the wall. Okay, okay. Let's see. What's the smartest way to do this? Because this shape is what I'm thinking about. Okay, just figure it out, Priscilla. Oh my god. Overthinking queen. Approximately. How'd that work? Okay. Alright, not bad. Nothing some ink can't fix. So what else can I talk about? I don't know. I did decide that all of like my purchases this year, instead of doing like a no buy thing or whatever, because I have a lot of stuff I'm still trying to get through, I'm just gonna buy stuff that goes to like improving the situation in my living space. So like organization stuff, you know, new appliances, new pots and pans and stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna spend my money on. That's what I decided. Instead of being like, don't buy anything, it's just we're gonna buy what we need to improve our quality of life and just, you know, update stuff that needs to get updated, organize things that need to get organized, that sort of thing. So now, feels like it's higher. Oh well, we'll find out together. If you were a dark brown, you would be here. Yes. Okay. So let's see. So yeah, I guess like that's what I'm trying to do, is make like conscious purchases. And not like beat myself up for my shopping addiction, you know, on top of that. So I have gotten some new things, this desk included. This was definitely the first of things on that thought train. I cannot help but get glue all over this, so I will have to figure that out when it comes down to it. Whatchamacallit, still a little bit too much. Oh, now they're playing music like crazy. So it is a good thing I shut the door when I did. Okay, and then we just need to back this. Oh, I have a strip. That's a good place to start. I think I'm gonna make this like a wraparound page thing, so I'm not gonna back the other side. You know, like I'm gonna make it the thing where you stick it on the page and then it bloop-a-doops. So I am gonna come give this a thumb notch, which means I have to go get my circle punch, which is not over here. Okay. So yeah, this desk was the first of it. I got a new air fryer as a gift from my company for having worked there for 5 years, which I was like, woohoo, thanks. Would have loved a raise, but I'll take an air fryer. And granted, it is a nice air fryer, so I'm not like mad about it, you know. Let me go get that hole punch before I keep yapping. Okay. And we just need a tiny little notch. Because I don't want it to show on the other side. Or just something you can get your thumb into. It's not even particularly even, but that's okay. No. It's so weird. Everything is so different. It's going to take some getting used to, but it's okay. It's going to be worth it in the long run. Finish one side before I start looking at the other. Oh, look at that. I cut a little hole in there. I didn't even notice. Don't worry. That's an easy fix. Okay. I don't know what else to talk about. Ta-da! It is a thing, Let me see what else I want to do. Okay, sorry. It took me longer to think about what I wanted to do, and I still don't know. What I did want to say, though, before I forget, is that I didn't waste all the watercolor that was on the table. I made a bunch of leaves that'll come up in like an art journal thing later. That's what I did with my time and my extra watercolor. So if you were worried about wasting the watercolor, it was not wasted, in fact. In fact, it was probably overused. Let's do this. And get these little typewriter keys out. Because I'm thinking, I can use this StazOn Gray. It's a solvent, so theoretically, should lift a little bit of this alcohol ink and give us a varieties. Or just a cool impression. Either way. This needed texture. It needed texture bad. And then it just wipes up off the gold words really hard. Lost to the annals of time. You are like this. that's a good texture to come in with. I don't think that actually had any ink on it. Okay, yeah, so I like that better. I was having some issues looking at it flatly. I did come back and try to like wipe off some of the glue with the paper towel. That worked a little bit and also didn't. So at this point, I'm just accepting that the glue is part of it. It has now become the texture of this piece. Because otherwise I'll make myself crazy trying to cover that up. And then I was trying to think about where I wanted to put them off, and I think I'm going to put it on our swatch card. So let's get them off. From the bag of muffs. Jeez. Oh, I kind of really like this yellow atlas. I kind of like it because it matches the brown that we used as our like main color, our primary color, the one that we mixed in with all the others. So I kind of like that it matches that tone. So I think, yeah, I think this is where this is going to live. And then we can address what we're going to do to the outside, because I haven't thought about it. Well, I thought about it, but I couldn't decide on what I wanted to do. Ooh, they are jamming. It is my downstairs neighbors and then my across neighbor who is also jamming, which I think he's jamming in response to my downstairs neighbors because their music is actually loud. I don't know how much you guys are picking up. I hope nothing, because I do not wish to be demonetized. Let's see. Oh, this is perfect. Did I not put glue on the antenna? Or the feet, their little feet? Oh, I guess I didn't. What was I doing? Okay. So yes, there's our swatch card with our moth. You could feasibly journal on the back. I should probably back it because it is slick paper. Hold on. What else do we have over here? Because I don't want to get a fresh piece of paper. Sorry, I'm sorting through my box of scraps at a distance, which is hard. Haha. The cool thing about having this desk now is that because my other desk has now been cleared of all the crafty stuff, the other desk is like an L-shaped desk, and well, it sits this way. So on this side is where my sewing machine is, and now all of this is clear. So what that means is I'll have more space to do fabric-y stuff with all my 9 million yards of fabric, because I'll be able to stretch it all out and cut there. Because before I was having to take any fabric I wanted to cut, like big pieces, and put it on the floor. And then just crawl around the floor like a cave person to cut any big projects. But now I'll have more space. Not like a ton space, you know, like I won't have blanket size space, but I'll definitely be able to cut stuff on that table now. So maybe I'll get a couple, well, I have one cutting mat, so maybe I'll get another cutting mat to stretch along it, and then I can do more sewing projects on that table, and clear off that side of the table, because the side that the sewing machine is on has also become like a catch-all for crafting stuff. So if I can sort of rearrange that a bit and free up that space, one, I'll be more inclined to go back to my sewing machine, because that's part of the reason I am not sewing during this challenge, is I don't want to clean that desk, like that part of my desk right now. Plus I figured not everybody has a sewing machine, so it's more accessible if I show you guys how to make stuff without going to my sewing machine. Jeez, jeez. Sorry. The plug fell off the thing. Whatchamacallit, but also, like, outside of the accessibility notion is I didn't want to clean off that part of my desk so I could go back and forth and sew. But now it really would be back and forth. Because I'd have to walk around the desk to get there, but this is just going to be the setup for now. I'll probably move the desk again later, when I get more shelving and stuff in, because I am, like I said, doing like an overhaul of my craft space. I don't have the edges rolled up, I saw it. So once I get like that a little bit more squared away and I can see the space better and I get some of the stuff off the floor and out of the boxes and into proper shelving, I'll be able to sort of rearrange my desk better. So I'm hoping to have like a U shape by the time that this is done so that I can sit in the middle and spin around. Don't have to walk around the desk to get to the sewing machine. There was nothing left on that. Wow. I just wanted to break it up. Ew. Oh, that was uncomfortable feeling. Oh yeah, I forgot that this was open. I have an idea. I was just gonna glue it shut and be like, and this is how you glue it shut. I have another idea. Wait. No, that's too small. Okay, hold on. Circle punch. This is crazy, but will it work? Let's see. It might be too long still. It is too long still. Nope, it's not. It's not. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I just tore it all the way through. It's okay. The problem is that these aren't like deep enough. And then I don't need all of that. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, because I know this is gonna work. This has been an interesting adventure of a make. Am I using my bum-ass fingers? Okay, yes. That will fit. I'm going to come over to the side a little bit to salvage the damage I did. And then we will glue it in and have a little tab up top. Just for cuties. Just for cute funsy purposes. So I'm going to glue this side. Make sure that gets stuck down. And then we'll come glue the other side shut. And glue that shut. And get more glue on top of this paper. And then ink over where we tore. Problem solved. Now we have a little, just a little tab for no reason, for funsies. Oh little tab that probably needs a little stamping or a little sentiment or something. No. We'll use a little word. Okay. Journal card in. I love it. I don't know how well that showed up, but it's grungy. It's got stuffs on it. This will stick to the page, so don't worry about the inside here, because this will flip open. Got some space. You could journal or put a photo right there. And now we just gotta do a little something, something. Where is my die cuts? I'm gonna use this as like a shadow. In the background, like that. And then what else? What else can we use today? What's in here? Keys? Do I want a key? Keys go in the keyboard. Oh my gosh, it's a joke from a comedian who I love, and I can't remember her name, and I am so mad at myself for it. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, but I want it to be gold, so we'll work on that. But she talks about how her husband's like type A, and she always leaves her stuff around, and to like get her on the same page as him and get her to get her shit together, he like puts a bowl for their keys by the door, and she continues to ignore it because she's like me. She's a type B person, so like organization be damned. And he comes around to her and he's like, the keys go in the key bowl, and he just said, like, keeps saying it to her, which is really funny. It's funnier when she tells it. It's not funny when I tell it. I forgot I printed these specifically for this challenge and have not used them one time. I printed my autumn words small and just ignored them, so we're gonna unignore them now. And let's see. I have all these packs of ephemera until I need them, and then I've never seen them in my life. They are all in this basket, and yet somehow lost to the annals of time. There we go. Get a little receipt in here. And what else? A Union Jack? No. What is this? Oh, that's good. Well, 2 for $25. That'll go good with the key. Oh, I kind of like this bingo card too. Decisions. No. Stick with what you got. Okay, and we want the key to be gold, we said. So, if you were the wax, you would now be on the left and not the right. Because I don't want it to be the same. I'm doing a nice thick layer because I don't want it to be black. I want it to be gold. Yes. Thank you. Would it be too busy if I added some stamping to this? Oh, wait. Ha ha ha. For our little shadowy piece, I have... Wait. We'll stamp that one. This way it'll be all the way in the background. Oh, sorry, my reach. Horrible. How much of my arm was that? So much. That's just something to internalize and be self-conscious about forever. So... yes. Go away. What is this? Okay. Let's get it together. So we'll just stick these down, add a sentiment, add a little something to the top, and then we'll be done. Yes, I like it. I think it'll break it up a little bit. And then we're going to put this plainer leaf on top. We've got our moth inside there. Key. Yeah. Oh, I almost dropped this on the floor. Our little key guy. And then we're going to get a little sentiment out of there, and I'm going to keep repeating what I'm doing over and over because I don't know what else to talk about until the end of the video. There we go. I like that. So, I already know which one I wanted because I saw it. This is Rare Finds. I can't believe I forgot about these words. I printed them and then the Halloween ones at this smaller scale so that I could use them for this project. And I've only been using like the same set of words, the grungy words and then the clippings. And I just forgot all about these. Maybe a little more like this. Yeah. I don't know. Where are we on the list? We are on Swatch, which is 16 days in. How are you guys feeling? I am definitely feeling the pressure now to get videos made, especially since I took a detour. So I have been telling myself I need to simplify things. This was clearly not a simpler project. The next couple ones might have to be a lot simpler in order to get caught up again, because I am now running to the end of my window. Not the end, but you know what I mean, like it's only a couple days ahead, and before I had like a 7-day like cushion, and now I have like a 4-day cushion, so I'm feeling it. I like to give myself more of a cushion top. So let's see. What would go good with rare finds? I should have maybe thought about that. The loveliest things. Oh, I hope this fits. I'm gonna be so sad if it doesn't. Oh, just look at that. Destiny. I am gonna trim off just a little fraction of a hair. And then let's see. The loveliest things. Rare finds. Are you guys like that? Where like your words have to all kind of work together even if they're coming from different places? Because that is 100% how I am. It would actually bother me more if I just put random words down. And then was like, ta-da! This makes no sense. The loveliest things. And then we don't have to worry about that for the back side. Reserved. Da-da-da. And now we have a CD envelope pocket tuck spot thing with journal space. Haha, I love it. And then we got a little swatch card. Just here, and you can write on it. I think that's a ambition complete, a job well done. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Make sure you follow the hashtag, check out what everybody is making. I have a playlist with all the videos and stuff linked down below. I also have a Pinterest board of inspiration and all the relevant details in the description. So until next time, guys, happy crafting. I appreciate your faces, and goodbye.